Alright, today is November 14th. It is Tuesday, and we are still in the awesome month of No Shave November. Today's learning objective is the student will identify and apply exterior angle theorem to find a missing variable or angle. So that's what you want to be able to do by the end of this class. And then the language objective, the student will write the exterior angle theorem in their own words after we do this discovery activity with the triangles that you should have on your desk. So on that note, on your desk you should have already grabbed on the way in your triangle, scissors, the notes sheet, and a calculator. We're going to be using all of those today in class. And as you can see, it says on the board, you need to make sure you've turned in all of the assignments for the triangle unit so far. Our test is going to be this Thursday. So we're going to start reviewing today when we finish, / tomorrow. We're going to review tomorrow. And then your warm-up is to grab the triangle and scissors and begin cutting out your own triangle along the edges. Please remember not to cut off the little extra part on the left with the 4. Okay? Just cut around the edges. It's going to be a triangle with a little piece on the left side. Okay? And don't forget, if you've got missing work, feel free to turn that into the bin on the table. So let's take a look at what we're doing with our triangles right here. So you should have this sheet of paper and your scissors. So let's go ahead and cut this triangle out. Slowly but surely, we want to make sure we cut right along the lines. We want to don't cut too far in, don't cut too far out. Just right along the lines, right? So don't forget today's advisory schedule. It's a little different than Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And if you remember from the first day in this unit, we talked about exterior angles briefly, and we have some vocabulary in our notes from that day 1. So today we're going to be using that vocabulary about exterior angles, and then also remote interior angles. Okay, so I've cut my triangle out like that. Okay, so again, everyone should have a cut out triangle. It looks nice and neat. And then what I want to do is take this over and look at the notes sheet. Alright, so we'll go widget mode and put this away. So the exterior angles theorem, don't forget to put your name on these notes. Name, Mr. G. So it says procedures. We just did this. We cut out our triangle. We made sure the exterior angle was attached. Now, here's what we're doing on step 2. Okay? So step 2, tear off angle 2 and angle 3. Be sure to leave the exterior angle attached. Alright, so let's do that. I'm going to take angle 2 and rip it. And I'm going to take angle 3 and I'm going to rip that. Alright, so does everyone see I got a ripped off 2 and a ripped off 3, right? Now, we've done step 2, and now we move on. Step 3, rip off the 2 remote interior angles and place them next to the first angle. So to place them next to the first angle, okay, we're going to place them right here over the 4. Okay? So, you're doing this along with me. I've got angle 2. I'll put angle 2 over the 4. And then I'll put the angle 3 upside down, right next to, between the 1 and the 2. Hopefully that focuses. Yeah. Alright, so what do you notice about angle 2 and 3 as they relate to angle 1? Okay, So let me put that away. So number 4 down here. So we just did step 3. That was great. Step 4, what do you see when all 3 angles are lined up together, right? So remember we had like angle 2 and angle 3 right here, right? Once we tore them off. All right, so you notice something about angle 2 and 3 and this exterior angle, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a minute, okay? A minute. I want you to write, in your own words, your conjecture. What do you want to say about angle 2 and angle 3, these interior angles that are far away? What do you want to say about those and this exterior angle over here? Go ahead, starting now, write your own conjecture right there, and I'm going to give you a minute. All right, so you should have written something for my conjecture in your own words. To fulfill today's language objective, the student will write the exterior angles theorem in their own words. It's okay if you didn't have all the perfect vocab. You're writing it in your own words based on what you discovered through this activity. And now we're going to write the class conjecture. So I'll give you a minute to write the class conjecture. Angle 4, the measure of angle 4, equals the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3. An exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the remote interior angles, otherwise known as the opposite interior angles. When you've finished writing that down, you can flip it over. I'll give you a little bit more time to write that down if you're still getting that down. When you flip it over, okay, you'll see we have an exterior angle theorem at the top. And that's what we're going to use to do the guided practice examples there. So, we're going to flip it over right now and work these out. All right. So remember, the exterior angle equals these remote interiors added up. So my equation down here is going to be y equals the remote interior, the farthest away interior angles added up. So this one should be rather easy. Y is equal to 45 plus 65. What is 45 plus 65? 110 degrees. Okay? And hopefully you remember how to figure out angle x, right? If I want to find angle x, well, I remember that the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees, right? So all these are going to add up to 180. So 45 plus 65 plus x equals 180. Combine like terms, 110 plus x equals 180. And then we get rid of that loner. Minus 110 gives me 70 degrees. Okay. Let's do the same thing over here on the second guided example. It's just a little bit different. Okay. So, over here, again, the exterior angle equals these remote interiors added together. So it's going to be 130 equals 20 plus x. I hope you notice the difference between this over here and this right here. The variable is not always isolated on one side. You have to set it up correctly. Exterior equals the two remote interior added together. So if I'm solving this equation right here, to get x by itself, on the side with x, I got to get rid of this loner. And how do I get rid of 20? Since it's positive, I'm going to subtract 20. Subtract 20. Cancels out, and I get 110 equals x. Okay, 110 degrees. So that's great. And now I need to figure out angle y. Now I could add 20 plus 110 and subtract that from 180. Another way is, this is a linear pair right here. 130 and y need to make 180 degrees because that's a straight line, a linear pair. So 180 minus 130 is what y equals. Y equals 50 degrees. There's more than one way to get that angle y. And then we have this is one of the more difficult ones, and you're going to see this on your assignment. So we're going to set this up the same way. Exterior equals these remote interiors added up. So I'm going to put 126 equal sign 6x minus 1 plus 5x plus 17. Okay, might seem like very complicated, but you set it up the exact same way that we did the last two. And then, what are we going to do? I see on the right-hand side, I have, on the right side of this equal sign, two x's. So I'm going to combine like terms, 11x. I also see two constants, negative 1 and 17. I'm going to combine like terms, negative 1 plus 17 is 16. Bring down 126 equals, and then solve the two-step equation. On the right-hand side, the loner is plus 16. I'm going to do the opposite, subtract 16 from both sides. 126 minus 16 is 110 equals 11x. And my last step to get rid of that coefficient is to divide by 11. And x equals 10. Now that's what we did for finding x, but then we need to find the measure of each angle. Okay? Find the measure of the three angles. So all I'm going to do is take that x equals 10 and plug it in. So instead of 6x minus 1, it's going to be 6 times 10 minus 1, which is 60 minus 1, which is 59 degrees. So right here, 59 degrees. Then we're going to take 5x plus 17. We're going to replace x with 10 again. 5 times 10 plus 17. So that would be 50 plus 17, which is 67 degrees. And then how do I figure out this last angle right here? Well, 59 plus 67 plus x equals 180. Combine like terms. I get 126 plus x equals 180. Subtract 126 from 180, and I get x equals 54 degrees. 54 degrees. Okay? So your assignment's going to have problems just like these, some of these more difficult ones, but you can do it. Remember, exterior, the angle, equal sign, the remote interiors added together.